Hello, this is Andrea Covey, and here's my websites that I did for our finals for the semester. So I'm going to start with the site that I used Bootstrap for. I chose the Pumping Iron with Myrtle one for that because I felt like there was more content to work with and there were more requirements for the Bootstrap page, so that just seemed to be a better match. So I'm going to get the code out of the way for a little bit here. So for the home page, I used this full-size image here of quote-unquote Myrtle planking. I picked a color scheme that had these bold blues and greens, had a little bit of orange with it, but that blue matched this image that I found, so I thought that went really well together. Okay, just making sure I'm on the home page. So, some styles I saw in other, like gym-related websites had, just chunks of content with these huge dynamic images in between. So that was kind of the style I went with. You can see my footer here too. I just for the heck of it, I kind of added the social media links. Or icons. There's no actual links to those, but yeah, just thought it was kind of a nice addition here. Meeting the staff, here's where I used the animations for images that we needed to do. So this one, I'll go through the code with that later, but this one, just a basic transition. This is more of a 3D transition. These are our trainers. And membership, I used this was recommended for a previous project to use cards to lay this out rather than sticking to the strict columns, and I really liked that because I thought I wanted 3 columns, and it just made this look a lot nicer. Here's where I'm going to go into developer mode and show how it transitions between the different like the tablet and the phone and so forth. So here's where it's with an iPad. I think it still lays out kind of nicely here. And then when you get down to a smaller size, I wish it would have gone to more of a single column. I thought Bootstrap was supposed to be a little more responsive, and now the text is really small. And honestly, I wasn't 100% sure how to go about that using Bootstrap. So, you see that the image at least transfers over well, as do these, like everything responds. I'm going to play around here with the width a little bit here so you can see that it all kind of works well. Like nothing overlaps weird or anything like that. Schedule was just a real simple page here, but at least everything gets larger and smaller as it's supposed to. Amenities, a lot of images used here. Again, I think it lined up really nicely. I've got a button down here for becoming a member, and then brings you back to, so there's a couple of different links to get to each page here. Got a table for contact, as well as on the far right here, have the information visually available if you don't want to use the contact form. Let me think here if there's anything else I am trying to... Oh, the 4 different fonts I used. You can obviously see at the top here is one font. The nav bar is another. The headers in green are another. And then a 4th one is for the actual content. Yes, I think that covers everything. That was 6 pages as required. Oh, alt tags here. Let's go into the code here. So the alt tags I kept pretty simple, and Sarah, obviously you'll go through this more when you get the file and everything, but I kept the alt tags pretty simple. Like right here you can see, you know, woman planking is the one I used for the header image that's on all the pages and that sort of thing. So you can go through that later. Next up, I'm going to go to the CBD. Yeah, you know me. That was an interesting title, Sarah. Probably fewer people, not that many people younger than I am, know the reference. I don't know. But I'm going to get out of the developer page here. So this green bar at the very top, I have no idea where that came from. It was not there the last time I worked on this, so that's interesting. But here we are. I like sites that kind of have this big, simple landing page like this. And so there's page 1. Little transition for the button here, and again I picked like a green and dark gray color scheme that I found that I really liked because I thought the greens made sense for a CBD store here. I created these images with overlays in Photoshop here. This page, you know, the requirements were there were fewer requirements here, so this is a much simpler page. But here's your welcome, who are we type page. Why CBD? Nothing too terribly special about it, just text and an image. The product page, this was kind of interesting. These don't link to anything. They would in a real life setting here, but I made this as a table. And making the table responsive was interesting. I had to do a lot of searching around to figure out how to get the table to be responsive, because what was happening was just the first 2 columns would show up, and either the second column either wouldn't show up altogether, or you'd have to scroll right to see it. Through the power of Google, I figured it out. There's a little bit of an in-between where these right images get cut off before you get into the column. But like when you pick, say, iPad or whatever, it works just fine. You can see everything you need to. Same goes for a phone. And I did the navigation as a block where it's in more of a column rather than the row, which I think works really well. It helps keep it easy to navigate, easy to see. Sorry about that. I thought I had my messenger turned off. Let's see here. And contact page, I kept it really simple. I didn't use a table. I've shown you I can use tables. So I just did a phone and an email address, and the footer already has the physical address. Oh, and my phone numbers don't match. I will change that. Doggone it. I will change that in the code, excuse me, before I submit it, along with the email. I am sorry I didn't catch that until just now, but that will get changed. So that the contact us and the footer actually match. Other than that, I believe that covers everything. Again, going into the having it be accessible using alt tags for the images. Oops, let's get to the right page here. The product is a product page. There you are. You know, is a good example where, you know, the alt tags, they're real simple, just, you know, for the topical products. Alt is topicals, tinctures, gummies, tea, that sort of thing. So I kept the alt tags pretty simple there. So I think that covers everything. Oh, yes, the other, nope, I lied. Keeping the links, like rather than just saying click here. Again, the product names would be links, so, but at least it's obvious as to what you're clicking on. The names of each page is pretty easy to understand. So yeah, I think I did a fair job with that. So Thank you so much, and